We're here today at Sweetlam in Mid Wales with the 205 Challenge. This is a test day, but we're also going to meet some of the drivers and find out how they're doing in the challenge. Pat, can you just give me a bit of a running commentary on what's going on here today?
Yeah, we've got this test day, okay, and there's 3 stages set out. There's a 1 mile loop, the 2 mile loop that the lads absolutely adore here, and the bowl. Now the bowl's absolutely fantastic for practicing because there's lots of space. We lay out tyres and cones, so if they clip a cone, because they get it wrong, that's exactly what the stage is designed to do. It's allowing them the chance to do a bit more of a skid than they normally do in the forest, so they get to learn the limits of the car, if you like. On here they've got to be really precise. The guys that are just pulling away now, Rob Dillon and Shane Keelthy, the last rally they actually had one of the biggest moments that we've seen in 205 Challenge history and got away with it. And the car sounded a bit like it after that. The exhaust fell off, the windscreen fell out, all sorts of things. It was such a huge incident, yet they carried on and actually had quite a good result. So what we've got today is a mix of BMWs and 205s. As you know, we do the 205s, 1600s and 1400s, and of course the big boys, 1.9s, and then we do these BMWs. We've got the 325i's here. 2 totally different cars. We tend to find a lot of the younger drivers are going for the 1.6 and the 1.4s. We've currently got, 15 teenage crews. 15 people who are teenagers sitting in each of these cars, you know what I mean? So as regards sort of youth development for rallying, I think we're definitely leading the way. So we've got a lot of youngsters, and then we tend to have not older guys but more mature people, yeah, late 20s, 30s, 40s, enjoying themselves in those sort of cars. 6-cylinder, 2.5, 170 horsepower and loads of rear wheel drive skids. So that's tending to what's going on today.
Well, they definitely benefit from it.
They can't not. You know, we have the likes here today. We've got Martin Rowe, who's ex-production world champion. He's coaching in one of the cars. Myself, I'm coaching in there. We've got James Walsden-Croft. We've got Tommy Walster, who's currently leading the Fiestas. James was last year's BRC Super 1600 champion. And turning up in a minute for the rest of the afternoon, Jeff Jones, who's he won the Group N category of the RAC Rally. So he's won Group N on World Championship rallies. What they don't know about driving on this sort of surface, you know, between us, there's like 70 years of practice there and expertise at winning. So all the guys get the chance to practice this. Plus, amongst the guys that are here, there's a hell of a lot of experience as well. You know, we've got them ranging from literal teenagers up to 50s and 60-year-olds and just enjoying themselves. But if the thing is, the great news is there's repetition. The corners that they're using out there, they repeat. So if they get a little bit of advice that says, look, turn in a bit later or go further into the corner and then come back at it, yeah, or brake a bit earlier or brake a bit later, they get the chance to repeat that. On a normal rally, you've done the corner once, it's goodbye. So you never get the chance to sort of go back and repeat that. So here they can practice and feel what good is like. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does.
So they know what good is like, and therefore they can overcome what's bad. So it's a brilliant training day. And of course we've had today the Calder Rescue team, who are hilarious, but also do the most fantastic job of life-saving. You know, it's a dangerous sport, cars crash. We don't know, I'm rubbish at it. You know, if I saw blood, I'd sort of run a mile. But now from the coaching that those guys have given us today, you actually know there is something positive you can do at the scene of an accident. So hopefully, as well as training the drivers to be better drivers, that makes it safer. And then with the influence that people like Calder Rescue put on us, that also makes it safer. So hopefully they go away from the day having a lot more knowledge and a lot more safety. So it's certainly not about driving fast. The guys aren't trying that hard today. They're instructed to drive at around 80 to 90% and instead develop the skills.
So it's definitely more about skills on a day.
It has to be. You know, we practice starts. You can hear the different starts. You can hear people here pulling away, and some are using 5,000 revs, some are using 2,500 revs. All of that matters. You know, if you get away a clean start on each stage, you might take, if there's 7 stages, you might take 2 seconds off your nearest rival on each of those. That's 14 seconds to start with. You know, and it's here where they can learn and refine those skills.
With test days, how many test days would you have a year? Is it something that you would plan to do so many times a year?
Yeah, you're right. We do 1 big gravel test day and then 2 smaller gravel test days. Okay, they're not quite as large as this. They're a little bit easier and on more of an airfield gravel surface. Yeah, this is like a genuine stage. They've used this stage on the RAC Rally. I was here many years ago watching Harry Vattanens and God knows who else going around this stage. So they're actually using genuine World Championship stages here. We also do 2 tarmac test days, and then for those that have got a little extra budget, and it isn't a lot, we take them to Sweden for 7 days driving on an ice lake where they can really refine their skills. So I think as a championship, my watchword is to develop the drivers, not the cars. The cars are fast, and rather than buying a different Crockett shaft and camshaft and sprocket cover and God knows what else they want to buy, I think it's balmy doing that. Develop your skills and you'll drive that car faster and better. So that's what we tend to do.
So I guess that would help the drivers, obviously, when some of them are wanting, when they develop their skills, and if they're moving on to different cars, they can keep those skills and take them into a different car.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can quote a couple of guys at the moment. The big rally at the weekend, the Fiesta Championship, the guy who was one of our real hot shots, Tommy Walster, has just won another round of that and is like flying high at the top of the championship. He's using the same skills that he learnt here, he's just developed them further now. So as he says, it's one of the best groundings you can ever get. And one of the other guys has just won the Pirelli Star Driver on the BRC round, was George Thomas. He started with us at 16 in actual fact. He couldn't drive with us, but he came to the test days. So although he wasn't old enough to drive on the road, he could come here with his speed licence and practice on these sort of days, and we could give him advice. And he's a fantastic driver. And again, those guys have learned to drive slow cars quickly rather than having a fast car and driving it slowly, which so many people do.